to this brand new coloring channel. Um, my name is Monique, and like the title of the channel says, this coloring channel is all about coloring. Um, the and I thought, what would be a wonderful way to introduce this channel by showing what I have colored till now, and in that way also showing you a little bit my collection. So this first video is all about the books I have colored in, because I also have quite some books I bought but have not colored in yet. So yeah, let's have a start. Let's start with the first book. That's by Art Therapy. You might recognize it because it's really popular. It's a Boule de Poil, I believe you pronounce it. My French isn't the best. And well, it's just really cute. And I bought this book, I believe, in August this year. So I don't have it that long yet. And I did my first page in September. And it's this one. And yeah, it's a fun little page. I did this one with some neon colors in the background and then some chroma flows on top, you know, just pencil and some white marker, and that's it. It's a very simple page, and I like that. I like to keep things simple. I don't like to overcomplicate things. And that's about it, I believe, I used for this page. No, I also used a little bit of gold paint marker by Ebbing, I believe. Yeah, I do believe I used that. So, for the rest, you know, the book, I need the color a lot more. The next one I probably think is going to be the mice with the cupcakes and the tea and all of that. I really like this one. So that's book number 1. Book number 2 is by Joshua Dunbar, Halloween Cuties. Also probably a book you recognize. A lot of colorists out there have this cute little book. It really is small. This is my hand. And look how small this book is. It really is small. And I also bought this one recently because I had like a pretty big haul in, well, August, September, and October. I bought like a crazy amount of books. So a lot of the books that you're gonna see are bought recently. You know, before this, I also had, you know, some books, but not as much as I do right now. So this is the one I did, and with the hat and like all the leaves on it. I'm actually quite happy with it, except for the butterfly. I don't like what I did with the body. I wish I chosen some other colors. That's it. But yeah, this is just marker, plain marker with some white pen on top of it, and that's it. I don't like to use like a lot of frill on this kind of pages. I like to keep it easy, you know, and that's the reason why, I have to be honest, that's the reason why I buy these kind of books, because they're easy to color and, you know, they are really relaxing, and that's it. So I haven't really colored that much else in it. So, but it's a very cute book. Book number 3 is by Selena Vanich. Fadorables, the Minis 2. I don't actually own the Fadorables Minis 1. I liked this one better than the 1, but maybe I will buy the first. I'm not sure, and that's because I set up for myself this rule that I can only buy in total 75 books. And right now I have 71 books. So I can only buy 4 more books and then I'm done. I have to start coloring the books or get rid of a couple of books if I want to buy new ones. And I'm doing that because I started to notice that the amount of coloring books that I have right now are starting to become overwhelming. I don't know in which book I should start coloring, which book deserves a little bit more attention. I don't know where to start anymore. So I decided, okay, enough is enough. And 75 is a nice round number. So I was like, okay, at 75, I'm just going to stop. There are no more books coming in. You first have to like finish a book, sell a book, one of those two before you can buy a new book. And, that's okay. But that's also the reason why, in a lot of cases, I'm thinking, okay, do I really want this book? Yes or no? And in this case, it's probably a no. It's not like a want. It's not like, oh, I really, really, really need this book. But I did one page on this one because I also bought this one recently. I bought this book in, I believe, August. Yes, I did this one on the 20th of September. And I like it. I guess the hair is a little bit of a disappointment, to be honest. I have to be honest, blending with alcohol markers on Amazon paper, that's quite difficult. I also blend with alcohol markers on like alcohol marker paper basically, and that's a different experience. Let's just leave it at that. That's a different experience. But yeah, I have to say, sometimes I see colorists out there that color like very pretty alcohol marker based books, and they can do it in such a wonderful way. And I'm thinking, how the hell do they get those blends? Because I cannot get those blends on that kind of paper. But maybe it's just me. The next one, also bought at the same time, by Selena Fenech, Magical Minis. Really like this one. I did this one, and this is like an example of where the blend just did not work at all. I tried to go from dark green to a very light green, and it just didn't want to blend. It just didn't. And I was like, okay, is it me? So I tested it on some marker paper, and there the blend just went very smoothly. No problems whatsoever. But on this paper, it did not want to blend at all. So I do think it's the paper. But still, even though I don't like my background, I do like the dress. I like the stone, with the glowing effect of the, what is it, the symbols that you're looking at. So it's not bad, but still, the background kind of, that's a disappointment. And that's the only one I colored in this one. I do have to say that some of these illustrations are so tiny, like this one. It's really, really tiny. It's almost impossible to color. And also something I don't understand about this book is, so here I have like very thin lining, and then I go a page further and the lining is really, really thick. I don't understand that one. Please, why is the lining so different between one image and the other? I don't understand that. Next one is also one that you're probably going to recognize. Mijn reizen door Europa from Rita Berman. I love this book. I bought this one, I believe, the end of July, early August, and I have to be honest, at first when I saw Rita Berman books like this one, I really wasn't impressed that much. And I was like, nah, I'm not gonna buy that book. That's not for me. That's not for me. And then, you know, I saw, can't remember who, you know, I can't remember who, but she was working in this book. And I was like, oh wow, you can do some really fun stuff with this book. And then I started to see other colorists out there that color in this book, and I was like, yeah, maybe I should give it a try, you know? So I bought the book, and guess what? I absolutely fell in love with it. So much that in a very short time, I colored 2 images, 2 pictures in it. This is the first one, and I did, yeah, so I bought it at the end of July, and I immediately want to color it in it. And that's a good sign with me. If I don't like put it on a shelf and like, okay, I will color in it later. No. I wanted to color right then, right now. And I was really wanted to color this one because I thought, okay, that's like a nice, small, fun page just to get into it. You know, it's like this introduction page, you could say. And so this is the first one I did. And the second one is this one. And I did this one with just Inktense. Just Inktense. That's it. That's the only thing I use on this page. And Inktense is like the perfect pencil for this book. You know, it's perfect. It just works. The bright colors with her illustration style, it works. So I'm actually thinking about doing the rest of the book with Inktense, like this one, because on this one I use neon colors in the back, and I believe I colored it with, let me feel, I think my Chroma Flows. Yeah, Chroma Flows, and I used some, I don't know if you can see the sparkle, it's not really there, but I do have some metallic watercolors that I used for the border over here. So this one I used quite some different products, and on this one only one, and I really liked the results of this one. Really like it. So yeah, the rest of the book is probably not going to be done with just Inktense because it works perfect, really beautifully on the paper, and I don't know, I really like the results. So that's my reis door Europa. Then we have a very pretty book by Crystal Vogels. Ausmalgeisen, der verwunschenen Welt. I really hope my German is okay. Just because I'm Dutch doesn't mean that my German is like perfect. Quite the opposite, to be honest. I don't like to butcher it. Well, not like it, but I am butchering it. But anyways, I love this book, and I love her style. I love this author, illustrationist, artist, whatever you want to call it. And these, I've done this. You know, I have to be honest, I'm really proud of this page and this one on the side. I'm really proud of it. I really like what I've done with it. Yeah, I've done, I believe, yeah, the entire page is done with my Colorsoft pencils because I got this book in April around my birthday. I bought it for my birthday, and my mom, she gave me the Colorsoft pencils, the full set, 72 set. So I colored this entire page with the Colorsofts, and I really like what I've done. And I also really like what I've done with this one. Also Colorsofts, because if I do this side with Colorsoft, I also do the other side with Colorsoft, just to keep it like that it matches, basically. Yeah, I love this book. And I also really like the little verses, you know, on this side, the little texts. You know, you really should try to translate it. It's funny. So, I mean, just look at it. How cute. I mean, how cute. And it really reminds me of this like fairy art from the early 20th century by, for instance, Arthur Rackham. And I'm a huge fan of that kind of artwork. And this really reminds me of that. So, absolutely gorgeous, absolutely beautiful. And it's really not that difficult to color because of like she indicates where the shadow should be. For instance, here on this dress, you can see these little markings, you know, and then you know, okay, that should be darker, but where you don't see any markings, that should be lighter. And yeah, it's so much fun, this book. That's Crystal Vogel's Ausmalreise. Then one of my favorite books, because I can work with one of my favorite mediums in this one, and that's Woodland Watercolor, a coloring workbook by Claire Therese Gray. And this entire book, at least the coloring pages, are printed on premium 200 GSM watercolor paper. It's right over here. And well, for me as a watercolor enthusiast, really I am. I love watercolor. I also like paint and draw, you know, myself. And watercolor is like one of my go-to materials that I like to use, mediums. So when I saw that she released a book printed on watercolor paper, I was like, okay, if the illustrations are even so I would still buy it, but that's not the case. I really like the illustrations and I really like the theme of the book. You know, I love these kind of woodland images. And this one is the first one I did. And it's watercolor with some pencil on top. And I believe I used polychromos for this one. But just like a little bit, you know, to add some pink to my leaves. You know, and some darker bits here and there, some shadows. And that's it. So most of it, what you're looking at, is just watercolor. And that's it. Now the second one I did is in the back of the book. And that's this one. And you can see I swatched a lot to see if I had like the correct color. And it's of this woodpecker. And I'm really proud of it. And I did this one with a really cool product by Schminke. And they reproduced some of their like older colors. It's a retro line basically. And they have like, for instance, they remade the cochineal red, and that was a color that like in the early 20th century artists would work with a lot, and today we don't. So they remarket it basically, and you can buy it again. And I really like those colors because it's a little bit muted, it's not extremely bright, but I like that. And I see right now that I forgot a little bit over here and a little bit over here. Funny. But yeah, I'm really proud of it because all of the colors that you see here are not colors in that set. I mixed all of these colors. The only color that you can actually find in the set like this is probably this red. But I'm not sure of that because I could have done a little bit of yellow in it just to make it a little bit brighter. But the rest of the colors that you're looking at, you will not find these colors in the set that I have. I only have 6 colors. And with those 6 colors, you have to mix to get the color that you want. And that's exactly what I did. And I really like the results, to be honest. So, yeah. But I like this book. This is like one of my favorites. And you can see that because I already colored 2 pages in it. And that's like, now this is another one that everyone will recognize. Tales from the Forest Kingdom by Hannah Carlson. And I have to say, the new series from Hannah Carlson, so the Tales from the ... series, I love them. I'm not a huge fan of the older series. That's also the reason why I only have like a compilation book, the older series. I don't actually own any of those books. But I love these the new series from Hannah Carlson. And well, I love this book. And I wished, really, I wished I colored more pages in this book than I have. Because the only one I did so far is this one. And it's been a while ago that I colored this one. I really struggled with the watercolor in the back to make it blend nice and easy. That was like the first time I believe I used watercolor in a coloring book at all. So, but like the leaves, I was really proud of my leaves. I did make a mistake because right here, the, what do you call it? The nerve, or what do you call it, from the leaf? You see it right over here, and then it leaves over here, goes over here, and I thought it was like a paw of this beetle. So now that's why it's purple, and I could not raise it anymore. So okay, but this entire thing is done with watercolor pencils. I used Prismalo from Caran d'Ache. Fun fact, that was actually the first watercolor pencil out there on the market. And I bought it out of nostalgia because my mother, when I was young, little girl, she had like a small box with Prismalo pencils, and I could use them as a kid. And when I, saw the full set of it, and it wasn't even really that pricey, I had to buy it because out of nostalgia. But and I'm really proud of my berries. That yeah, that's nice. That's pretty. Still, it's not bad, but it's not great either. It's a little bit in between. And the rest of the book, again, empty. I definitely want to color more in this one. This is like one of these books that I really want to color in, and I just don't, because I bought new books and they also want my attention, and that's the problem. That's the problem. Now the next one, Tales from the Witch's Cottage, and I don't know which one is my favorite. This one or the Forest Kingdom one. I don't know. To be honest, I love them both. I really can't pick one, to be honest. Again, this one is great. And I did two in this book. Really, I did. And this one was a major fail, to be honest. So, first I colored the flowers, and I colored these flowers with my polychromos. Yeah, I remember that one. It was polychromos. And then I wanted to do like this glowing background, like they were glowing. And that just miserably failed. So I put some like metallic paint on top of it. I don't know if you can see it, but nah, it's just a hot mess. So my flowers, I actually like them. I really like what I've done with them. And then the background just basically destroys everything. It just, yeah. You gotta have a couple of these pages, or else if you don't have these pages, it means you don't experiment, and by not experimenting, you don't learn. This is how I see it. And this was my very first page I did in this book, and I was so proud of it when I was done. or at least almost done, because the very last step I needed to do was color these dots that you see everywhere, you know? And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna color them green and different kind of green shades with some paint markers that I just bought. And one of my green markers, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, right over here, I don't know what happened, but it broke, and suddenly I had like this huge blob of green paint on my page, and it almost ruined it. I got rid of most of the paint, but still, you know, I was so proud of it, and then that happened. That was quite disappointing, but still, do I want to redo this one? Maybe, yes, maybe. But at the same time, I'm really proud of the metal that I did here, like the copper, and how I did the kettle in general, to be honest. I really like that, and it was the first time I did gems, you know, I was really proud of that one. So, still, it's like a win, and then it became, yeah, I don't know, I don't want to say like a loss, because it's not, but still, it's a pity that that happened. And the rest of the book, not colored in. At least I have colored 2 pages in this one. Okay, next, also, Hannah Carlson, Grains of Gold. So this is the compilation book I talked about, and I bought this one because I didn't want to have to buy all the previous books. That it's just too much. But I still want to have like a couple of those pages, because her books were a little bit different back then. It's still very recognizable Hannah Carlson, you know, but still, you know. So I bought this one, and also because I saw one page in this book I really, really, really wanted to have. And that's, let me see if I can find it. This one. I thought it was so cool, because I believe Hannah Carlson is Swedish, or is she from Norway? I know that she's from Scandinavia. Anyways, so I thought that was so cool, and if she ever does a book about like Vikings and everything that has to do with the Vikings, like Norse mythology, I would buy it within a heartbeat. I would buy it in pre-order, and that I don't do that often. Usually I want to see the book first, but in that case, I don't need to see the book. I'm just gonna buy it. I really like this one, and this one is going to be colored someday. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I want to take my time for that one. Now, I did color one in this one. And now I have to see if I can find it, and I can. I can. Here it is. Here it is. On this page, I used soft pastels for the first time. Now, I love soft pastels, really. And I really enjoy, yeah, the end results are actually quite okay, I think. It's not a bad page, absolutely not. I really like my chinchilla. So, not a bad page at all. And when I'm gonna color this one on this side, I will probably do the exact same background. It's a very simple background. It's only 2 colors that I used and blended them together. It's not difficult at all. The only thing that's difficult about pastel is soft pastel is because it's so dusty, it gets everywhere. So you really need to work like from the starting point and then work your way down. At least that's what I experienced. That's like the best way of working with soft pastel. So yeah, and again, the rest of the book uncolored. Next, a Maria Trolle. Troll. How do you pronounce her name? Is it Maria Trolle or is it Maria Troll? Because, you know, both ways can be the right one. This one, I don't know. It's called Droomreis, and it's published by Mus. And I can only find this book on the Dutch market. And I looked like right here. So there is like an original title, but of course that's like in Swedish. But I cannot find the English name. So what's the equivalent of this book in English? I have no idea. Anyways, I just did the title page and I like it. I did it with my Colorsofts. Yeah, Colorsofts I recognized by colors I used over here. So it's a pretty page, you know. It did its job, basically. You know, and that's the only page I did in this book. Also because I recently bought this book. I bought this book in August. I saw it and I was like, I didn't own any Maria Troll books yet. And I was like, oh wow, this is actually this is cute. This is cute. I like this. So I decided to buy it, and also because it's printed on one side. So I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna work with markers in this one. Just with pencil, but still, you know, I like it. I like the book. I like the book a lot. And then we have another Maria Troll Botanica, special edition coloring book, illustrated by Maria Troll. Now this one is published by Gibbs Smith. So the other one was published by Mus, and this one is by Gibbs Smith. And I love this book too. And again, I did the title page. This book belongs to page. And I did that because I thought, well, I also did this page in the other book. So let's keep it in line. I like it. What I did to it, I did this one with polychromos just to see how the polychromos would react to this paper, and it works fine, you know, it works fine. I got like a very nice soft blend, and that's what I like. And I bought this book in, I believe, September. So also I also bought this one recently. That's about it for part number 1, or else these videos will be extremely long, and I don't want that. So yeah, in part 2 I will show you some more of my works I did, and I hope I will see you there. Thanks for watching. I guess I have to say it these days because I'm on YouTube. Don't forget to share, don't forget to like, and please subscribe. I hope I see you at the next video. Bye bye.